all right, we did all the trade shit. That's out of the way. I want to talk about the beef. I want to talk about the pettiness that is. It's not just with Joe Cronin and Dame and his agent Aaron Goodwin and the Miami. It's not just that people, and I think this is part of fandom being so widely known now, like not just with fans but with media members and everything, and like the way things are covered. Everyone on the internet this last week has lost their fucking minds. Like they are, Miami people are insane, and they've been crazy for a while, but like they have gone to another level. Celtics media, Celtics fans have always been like very let's say enthusiastic. They lost their shit. Like Blazers fans have been just like, all right, can we just get a good trade? Like we're losing our favorite guy. Can we just get a good trade? And then they've like had this like Miami element coming at them. So they're like, all right, fuck it. We used to be the crazy ones on the internet. And like, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was Blazers fans on like forums and comment sections, a little bit of Twitter. And people were like, all right, like Blazers fans are nuts. Now it's brought everyone together. And so let's start with the Cronin Miami stuff, where apparently, like through a lot of reporting from Shams and from Sam Amick and from Chris Haynes and like everyone throughout this whole thing, right? Months and months and months of this stuff. It has been like Cronin has essentially said like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not trading to Miami. I'm not even talking to Miami. And there were weird moments in the offseason where it got out like at least amongst media people, right? It got where it was like this trade's going to happen like in the next 2 days, and you would hear that and like, oh shit, like Portland's finally giving in, and then you would hear, yeah, Cronin hasn't talked to them in months, and it's like, hold on a second, like it was just it's the information leaking has been crazy, and then we find out through Chris Haynes reporting, through a bunch of other stuff like that this like Cronin was, underhanded in the way he was doing it, and people are thinking he's being petty by trading Dame to the Bucks and then Drew to the Celtics because he's trying to go after Miami. At least that's what people in Miami think. And so, Eric, as someone who writes for like a pretty enthusiastic, good fan base, this is nuts. This is beyond, I think, like the Deer District, like that super spreader event has nothing on this stuff right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like Bucks fans sort of got into it this weekend because they had like the welcome rally for Dame, and like everyone just like filled the Deer District, got excited about Dame being in town, and he walks into the arena, and then in like the hours afterwards, like I'm seeing my like tweet getting like the video getting like passed around, and it's like, oh, he's not happy. He doesn't want to be here. Like
what a pivot from I can't believe they took that deal over Tyler Hero and some picks to he's clearly not happy. Look at him carrying his child into this event.
And I was just like, he's got 2 kids. Like he's carried 2 kids. Like that's like a thing normal people do. Yeah. Like I'm sorry. Like yeah. Like I'm sure there's a little bit of stress in his face because he has 2 small children that just got off a plane that probably fell asleep on the ride from the airport to the arena and just got woke up by 5,000 people screaming this dude's name. Like yeah, I'm sure he was a little bit stressed out and maybe not like, all right, let's go crazy like a Heatles party or whatever. Like all of that stuff. It was crazy. Like I just keep looking at it and I'm like, how does this keep going? Like
I love it.
Every single day it's crazier.
I can't get enough of it. Jay, this is the whole like do you buy that Cronin made spite trades? And they can still be the best. Like I do think like you can still make what ends up being the best trade, because once you turn Drew into this haul, I'm sorry, like that's a good trade. And I've been all over Cronin for when he traded CJ, when he traded Norm Powell and Robert Covington. Like I think he's made a lot of really bad trades in a short amount of time. He kind of nailed this one like about as well as you could for losing a player like Dame.
Yeah, I think the lack of interest in the Miami offer, number one, I wouldn't be shocked if there was some part of him deep down that was like, they're trying to strong arm me. I'd prefer not to be strong armed, because the way Dame and his agent approached it was sort of unlike anything we've ever seen. Goodwin went out, put his name on reports like saying that Dame wanted to go to Miami and wouldn't go anywhere else. They were basically putting out the messaging.
Oh, we see that though. Like we've seen that in the past. Maybe not the agent, but also we're in an era now where every signing has to be per this agent of this agency.
But
right?
also
like,
to do it with 4 years left on his contract.
That's how you do it. That's the Steven Jackson. You sign it. You sign an extension. You say trade me.
It's a different lack of leverage. That said, like the bigger driving force to me was probably just that the Miami package did not make sense for Portland because they already have 2 young guards that they're building around, and adding another guard who needs the ball in his hands.
3 if you want to say Simons.
Yeah.
Like they got a lot of money to Simons already.
Well, I was thinking Simons.
Oh,
as one of those, and Shaedon Sharpe is more of a wing to me.
I guess it's more of a wing. Yeah,
but either way, it's another young guy who needs the ball in his hands and would be taking opportunities away from Scoot Henderson, who's probably going to be your main building block for the future. Mm-hmm. So the Tyler Hero piece never made sense for them. And if Hero doesn't make sense for your rebuilding roster, he doesn't have the value to then go flip to go like Jrue Holiday did. They got an enormous haul for Jrue Holiday on top of Ayton, who they seem to like, and the picks they got in the Dame deal. They then went and flipped Holiday for Robert Williams, who's really, really good, and Malcolm Brogdon, who's the 6th man of the year, who they probably don't have in their plans, but could certainly flip for some sort of package sometime soon, and 2 more first-round picks. So to me, Miami couldn't match this. They couldn't match the entirety of what the Blazers are going to end up getting, and they still can flip Brogdon. They still can flip Robert Williams if they want. And now they have just more pieces than they would have had, I think, if they had bled Miami basically dry. I don't think Miami could match everything that Portland has gotten out of it.
Yeah, Eric, I think for me, like I had some Miami who were like, well, Ayton's not that good. And I'm like, yeah, but like neither's Hero. Like they're good, but they're not like yes, I want to pay that guy $30 million a year. Right. I mean, but at least like Ayton is a position of need once Nurkic is out of the picture. And so like I do think the idea of like those future Miami picks may be really good, right? Like really, really good, but you can't bank everything on that. And they seem to have, I don't know, gotten a good like spreading out of players they can use, assets, picks, whatever, as opposed to just like, all right, let's hope we can flip Hero or get a 3rd team to get in on this or a 4th team to get in on this to where we get a little bit more and just wait for those picks and see where they land.
You know what's better than the future picks of a team in a warm weather, desirable location?
Yeah.
The future picks of a team in a cold weather, small market town that could very well lose the best player in the league. Those seem, again, like if we're just talking future pick value between 2029 and 2031, the Bucks ones probably have more valuable. Mm-hmm. Like they just do. Those are more valuable picks. So you start there, and then I think the other thing too is like if you look at Jrue Holiday versus Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero was available to very available this offseason.
Yeah.
And how many teams did we hear were interested in trading for him? Very few. I know Heat fans were like, oh yeah, no, there's 1st-round picks out there for him. There's all this stuff. Okay, that might be true. Jrue Holiday was on the market for 2 days. And
the whole league lined up.
The whole league was like, yo, we need this guy.
Like half the league was like, yeah, we'll find a way to get this dude. Picks, players, like whatever you need. So to me, it's just like the main asset was already better. Jrue Holiday's better than Tyler Hero. I'm not offending Tyler Hero or anyone associated with the Miami Heat by saying that. Jrue Holiday's
probably
better. Good point. I shouldn't say that. Yeah. But like Jrue Holiday is better than him. And then the future picks that the Bucks gave up were better than him. And then the fact that, like you said, Zach, you add in Ayton, like to me, there's just a lot to like about that package. And did it stem from pettiness? I don't know. Who am I to say?
Look,
if it did, that makes this more interesting. But just with the facts alone, like it was a better package.
Here's the thing. I hope it's pettiness. I do. I want at this like media day for the Blaze, I want Joe Cronin to come out and say, yeah, like I thought I was being strong armed into this Miami situation, so I traded these guys to the two teams that should be able to knock them out. Like, yeah, I did it, and I got a great trade package out of it. So what? Like, is it anything different than like Pat Riley would do? Like Pat Riley's never trading with Danny Ainge. Like he doesn't want like Pat Riley hates certain people, and now he hates Joe Cronin. I do think I do like there's part of me. This is gonna come out horribly. There's part of me that's like, all right, Portland, now go find a GM. You know, like go find. Like I do think Cronin is if all those reports are relatively accurate. Like there's always going to be a source trying to skew certain things or whatever. But if they're relatively accurate, to me, it's a little too emotional for that job. But you also don't want to be so emotionless like a Daryl Morey where you can offend people that way, right? Like, I think there's a better balance there. I do think their front office drafts really well. Like I think that like that's the part that's impressive to me, but I don't trust them in a lot of trades, although maybe it took a couple of bad trades early on to figure out what that trade market should be and how you're supposed to, to move that whole thing.